Welcome back to Hillbilly Pillars, and today we are certifiably going to be talking about some pillars of country music. I'd like to start off with my background and history with Record Store Day. A few years back, came across Bob Circles that there was going to be a release of the infamous Blood on the Tracks test pressing. So it was like this original thing that I think that had been found and bootlegged of these alternate versions and alternate arrangements of the songs. Handpicked, he infamously had two different recording sessions that the songs were culled from. And most of these could be found in like various box sets and stuff. But I believe even with that, there was at least one or two instances on the release where it just simply did not exist before. And to have the whole thing as a packaged single release was so cool. So I got super stoked about it and had not had any experience at that time. I wasn't that long into vinyl with Record Store Day. So I went to my local record store, and that's a whole different story. My local record store, especially for new records, is like the cliche of the owner who's off-putting and kind of too cool. And it's anytime he has to answer questions or needs to help you, it's almost like it's burdensome, and he's a little irritated that you're in his store. And in my opinion, his prices are outrageous. Like, I don't mind like the whole idea of supporting local stores and that kind of stuff, but when it's not even ballpark and you're not helpful and don't provide like an atmosphere or anything, it's like I don't feel motivated. So anyway, I went by there just to see like, hey, there's going to be this, I'm all excited guy. And he's like, oh yeah, we might, I don't know, we might have a copy. I don't know. You just come the day of and just see what happens, man. I don't know. So I was like, well, okay. I didn't feel like I had enough go out of town somewhere to try this. And I didn't like have any connections or anything where I felt like I would be in a better situation. So went down to the store that day. To me, it was crazy early, hours early. And I was like the 6th or like 9th person in line. The front two guys, after being outside with them for hours, a few hours, realized that they were there to buy as much as they could to resell. It's like, okay, there's rules and stuff, whatever. That's part of the deal. And what I didn't know, and there was no pre-announcement in the lines or anything, is what they did is when it started, it was a relatively small store, so they took in like a handful of people. I don't remember. I think I was like 6th in line, right? So they took in 5 people, and they gave them like 5 minutes in the store, including 2 resale bros that were there. And 2 resale bros, before I went in, I caught them as I was going in on the way out, and they just had their arms stuffed. And the store had a rule about the number of any one thing you could buy, but not however much you wanted to buy of everything. So they just loaded up. And at the front of one of those, I could see the Bob Dylan test pressing release. And I went in there, and that was the only copy they had. And I was like, oh, you sure? Oh, man, I was really hoping that you don't have any. The guy was like, no, man, I can't help you. So okay. So I was super bitter about that. So in my mind and in my heart, I just kind of wrote off Record Store Days. I was like, I don't want to go through that. It's like taken away from my joy. And this is like a very sacred, joyful area of my life. And I don't want it to become some sort of weird competitive thing. And if you notice behind me, my wife has heard that story enough and me bitching about it that she just paid the price. She just went on Discogs. She like one time like, what exactly is it? And I texted her and she just got it. I would have never paid the money that she did for it, but I'm very cool. Glad it does help soothe the wounds a little bit. So anyway, having sworn off Record Store Day, I was checking out, Massey did a video about things that were upcoming in this Record Store Day Black Friday event that he was looking forward to. And I usually, there's no way I can avoid it, like in all my social medias and stuff. It's very vinyl and record influenced, so I always see the posts. And I like to go check out a list just so I have an idea of what's coming out. It's kind of cool and fun to do. I went and I'm checking, like, oh, some cool stuff. Like, I probably wouldn't mind having that, that kind of thing. And as I was doing that, I got to the last page, and then there was a release there that was like literally the like blew my brains out. I've had a little bit of time to think about it, and I genuinely don't know if I could have, if you would give me like 3 days, if I could have handpicked something on my own that would have been more prescient and relevant to my wants as far as my curated collection than this. Dwight Yoakam is releasing his 3 albums from the beginning of the 90s when he was at the absolute apex of his career. If There Was a Way, This Time, and Gone. If There Was a Way, it had a limited release, like a, there's like a German copy and then like a club version of like some sort of music club thing that they did records then. And that's it. And it's always been very rare. It's usually over $100, and it's not, it's not never brand new copies are always used. And for me, on my running list, that has been my number one want. It is, let me see, I've got some notes here. It's number 16 on my all-time favorite list, and it is the highest ranked album of my personal favorites that I did not have on vinyl. And so just that is getting a new release was awesome. But This Time and Gone have never been pressed. So for all of these 3, at the apex of Dwight's career, to be put in a box set all on vinyl is just an incredible thing. Something I discussed, I did one of my country-focused Hillbilly Pillar videos on If There Was a Way. And in it, I discussed this. If I had to pick one country music artist that would go on my Mount Rushmore, whose recording career started 1980 or later, it would be Dwight. He's got the most distinctive sound. I think in country, it is important that you had a wide popularity at some point. I think, it's just kind of part of the whole deal. Like, are you culturally of the thing? And even though he came in as an outsider from the punk music scene, he got extremely popular there when these 3 albums were coming out. I did a little lookup, and This Time is his best-selling record. It's triple platinum. And If There Was a Way is a platinum release. So he was wildly popular, sold a ton of records, and it's excellence. And I think he's also a really underrated songwriter. You take, I always do this with country guys, and you like hand select the 10 of his songs. You give me a chance to do that he's penned, and I'll go to Fight Club with those and feel good about it. And I think his whole persona, which is badass, right? He puts on that hat, and it's like he's a whole other guy. It's reflected in his movie career. It's like you look at him, he's like, it is like he becomes like a honky tonk Superman in a cool way when he puts that hat on, and that whole persona that songwriting aspect of his career can get overshadowed. But he's excellent. And I was running through the list, and there's just so many excellent songs. There's Turn It On, Turn It Up, Turn Me Loose, a pivotal song for me getting into country music. You're the One. There's 1,000 Miles from Nowhere. I keep a running list in my head of just perfect songs, like songs I think, to me, just they're impenetrable. You can't argue against them. And I think 1,000 Miles from Nowhere is one of those. It's a hit, and it's perfect. There was I think it was Nico Case had made some post about that song, about that fact, and I was like, yeah, girl, what you said a lot better than I ever could. Ain't That Lonely Yet, Fast As You, Sorry You Asked, Gone, the title track. Just an incredible collection. And then as a bonus, 4th LP, there's hand-picked songs from other soundtracks or that type of thing, or cover albums or something where he's participated and put a song in. And these are fantastic selections. I have a CD box set called, I believe it was called Reprise Baby, and it was the best of his Reprise years. And some of these tracks, if you haven't heard them, man, his live Suspicious Minds, killer. His cover of Carmelita, the Warren Zevon song with Flaco Jimenez, come on. If you haven't heard that, get on it. You will not regret it. And then another one I would say that is kind of a rarity that most people aren't aware of is he did a cover of this Rodney Crowell song called Thinking About Leaving, and I can't suggest that enough. Freaking killer track. So yeah, I am I am just beyond thrilled that this is coming out. Which means now I have to get back into this record store day reality. And my understanding is like I need to go. There's a used record store in town, but they do have limited new stuff. But I think they're all set up for record store day. They like do a little thing. So I need to go to them, the Not Lame one, and let them know I'm interested so they can order it. And then they obviously can't promise it to me or anything. And that I understand. I want fairness and like everybody getting a shot to get things. And then, but they can like days before reveal the things that they are going to be showing. And then I just got to play by the rules, you know, and I will get there as early as I need to feel good about getting that copy. But that's my understanding of the way this works. And, but yeah, I would say, as you know, kind of the initial goal of this channel is to put country music out there. If you're not familiar with this part of Dwight's career, just know kind of the hits or something. These albums, you know, I just feel full confidence that they will not let you down. I mean, they are fantastic. And to have them in a packaged box set together is beyond thrilling. So, yeah, that's it. Just wanted to share. Thanks for watching.